and welcome to Squad, your favorite source for everything esports and gaming. I'm Lisa Dwan, and we have a lot of good stuff planned for you tonight. Did you enjoy Marissa and Brody bickering as usual in Unmuted last night? Well, we got a lot of more of that action tonight as they bring you the latest in gaming news and memes. Later on in Esports in 30, Brody and Drewface will be bringing you everything that is anything that went down in the FGC. But first, we need to talk about this new game called Control. So the trailer dropped a couple of weeks ago and we decided to check it out. So here are our first reactions to the trailer in Trailers on Trial.
Okay, I'm really excited. I love these like private screenings for these trailers.
Better not be scary.
What the heck? Is someone floating there? Oh, no, I'm up. Wait, I don't think I signed up for this. This looks like a horror game. I don't want to be here. No, I don't like this whole like, oh, everyone's neck is like dislocated or something.
Someone told me it wasn't supposed to be scary.
Oh, she floats. Okay. Sorry, first scene I thought she was hanging or being hung.
She's like a superhero in a horror game.
Very Superman Superman-y vibes.
She's badass. That gun is badass.
What? Oh, okay. That last monster was epic.
Why was that the last scene? Like, why did they leave that as the last scene? Like, she's just in a library.
Ooh, I want that power to like just take something when Brody's getting me upset and just shove it in his face. Like, shut up.
It does generate hype. It does feel like a movie, but this is just not my style, you know? I think I might have to pass on this one.
I might play. I might take a little gander.
So this game is about like aliens, and this girl has like superpowers set in a universe where everyone has dislocated necks. I'm down. All right. Sign me up.
Welcome to Unmuted. We got your gaming and esports hot topics, hot tweets, and the spiciest memes. I'm Marissa Roberto.
And I'm Brody Moore, and this is how the show is going to work. Producer Tyler's got 2 minutes on the board for each topic, and we will present and possibly argue. Luckily for all of us, there is a mute button only to be used when someone's getting out of hand.
That's right, it's usually Brody, but shout out to chat, because we like it when you call us out when we're wrong and praise us when we're spitting true. So let's get to it, shall we? We're going to dive into our top stories with a new report on crunch at Epic Games. According to Polygon, who interviewed current and former developers who worked at Fortnite, employees regularly work up to 70 hours a week. Some of them even break 100 hours a week at times. Workers are expected to work overtime regularly, and if they don't, their contracts are not renewed. Managers routinely avoid discussions about crunch as Fortnite's constant patches mean that work never really ends. So, Brody, what do you think of all this crunch?
Crunch, crunch.
Okay.
It's great sound, but it's not great in the workplace. I mean, here's the thing. Are you okay? We're so used to this, it seems, in like the tech world just in general, and that includes esports, that includes video games, that people are. Here's the thing. It starts because so many people are passionate about this that they put in so much work.
Yeah.
They just start going in. And those people are rewarded because they love doing it. But there are some people that now know their limits, and their limits are lower than those.
Yeah.
But then they're getting punished for not putting that much work in. And it's a really bad precedent.
Yeah.
That, you know, we've seen it with people in this industry that work for free. And it's like, that ruins it for everyone because now that's what's expected.
So wait, have you ever been accused of crunch?
Of crunch? Oh yeah, I put a lot of work into certain things, not everything.
No, but you used to run Melee tournaments.
Yeah,
Did you crunch on your employees?
Oh no, it was me. I actually had an issue giving work to other people. So I put myself in. I don't want to do that because I think that's not fair to expect the same thing of other people if you're putting in extra work.
Fair enough. You are actually pretty empathetic, surprisingly, but I do think that this is just a common thread in video game development. It's always been this way. Every large studio, actually big or small, there's always a crunch, always. And yes, Epic constantly has updates, but it's like one of those things where, oh, I'm really lucky to work here, so I'm going to put the time in. As long as they're getting paid for the time and they're aware of what they've gotten themselves into, I think it's okay, only because that's the line that we've already crossed in this world.
No,
how can we go back
it's not
on it now?
okay.
How can we go back though?
It's not okay.
How? These companies have already realized that they can make their employees work like this.
If this was a 5-person or like 10-person studio and it was just 10 people with so much passion, not making much money, sure, I get it. You see it in stuff like Cuphead, those games, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. But this
they
company's
also
making
crunched.
so much
that's a
dang
terrible
money.
example because they crunched like crazy. Maya crunched like crazy. She was pregnant.
If
she had
we
a
weren't
baby,
done with
she
this,
crunched
I would
like
have
crazy.
muted you. But we gotta
God,
go on.
shut up.
So you're lucky. In CSGO, Astralis has broken yet another record. The Danish powerhouse has officially held the #1 spot in HLTV's power rankings for an entire year. The thing is, Astralis doesn't show any signs of slowing down. The team has won 15 events in the past year, and no one has been able to keep them down for long. Marissa, you're liking this, and I think I'm liking this. But do you think this is bad for CSGO? That like there's one team winning everything? Do you think like people looking in are like, oh, it's boring. We know who's gonna win.
I mean, I guess there could be a little bit of that, but that's just how dynasties work. Everyone always wants the Titan to fall. Everyone wants the King to fall. So that's okay, because it's good for CSGO, because we watch other teams try to get at Astralis. They have a winning formula right now that no other team or manager has been able to crack, and I kind of love it. I love that we're seeing this in CSGO. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just wonderful that we're seeing a team source out, like they've figured it out, and they watch other teams, they study other teams, they know their weaknesses, they find them. I just feel like that one team that actually cracks the Astralis code, that's when CSGO will just shine the brightest it's ever shone.
So oddly enough, we saw this in RL2 when Dignitas won 2 in a row. People are already upset, like, oh no, we don't want more of this. But for some reason, I don't know why.
What?
I love, maybe it's because I don't watch as much CSGO.
You really should.
I love that Astralis, oh, I do watch some, but not as much as like hardcores. But it's like, I love that Astralis is winning. I don't know why. This is so cool. Like this is, I would argue at this point, the most dominant team in esports ever. And that this is nuts. It's so cool. I want to see how long it can go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost gotten to that point now where let's see it. Let's see how long they can ride this train. I mean, I obviously cheer for, it's fun cheering for the underdogs too, and I always will. Every time anyone's fighting against Astralis, you always cheer for the underdog, and that's okay. I think that every kind of sport needs this. Esports and sports. There'll always be dynasty, there'll always be a king, and there's always going to be an underdog.
But I don't even see Astralis as the bad guy.
No.
Like I look at them as like they're making so many more people attentive to that scene, right? It's already a huge scene, but now even more people from the outside are like, yo, Astralis again?
Yeah,
this is nuts.
I know, so much
this is
so
crazy.
that there's been a lot
I think it's good for the scene.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of back and forth in the scene too, because like Astralis would do some events and on others, and like, there was a whole blasting on blast recently about taking players away from other tournaments, because there's so many CSGO tournaments that obviously they want Astralis to be at all of them, right? No, of course, yeah, it's all good. It's all love for Astralis. Listen, we gotta move on, because Dragon Ball FighterZ next DLC character is launching in May, and it's going to be a familiar face. No, literally, it's a face that's already in the game. GT Goku is joining the fight, making him the 5th Goku that will be in Dragon Ball FighterZ and the 2nd Goku DLC character. So this is not counting the characters that look like Goku, such as Bardock, and it doesn't look like the Goku train is stopping anytime soon. So, Brody, as our resident Saiyan,
am I a Saiyan? And also, I'm proud of you for saying it, right?
I know. I really had to think before I said it, though. Do you think there are too many Gokus? Is this too much Goku?
I mean, I don't think you can ever have too much Goku. I feel like they're probably looking at the DLCs that are selling the best, and it's, I mean, probably Goku did well. Everyone loves Goku. He's just a ditzy, stupid guy that's super powerful that likes to fight, right? So, like, I have no, if it was another one, like, if it was just like, I don't know. We could maybe use one more like Boo, but like that's it. Like I don't need much more on that. Then I'd be like, all right, it's too much. But as long as these characters come in with different movesets, different abilities, then it's not like you're getting stale and you don't have a bunch of clones. Like, you know, Smash Brothers has a bunch of clone characters with minor variations. If you add way too many, you know, sorties or spacies that are just very minimally different, then it becomes a problem. But with this right now, as long as the movesets are vastly different, you know, a couple things that carry over, I don't see an issue with it because I do love Goku.
Okay, I feel like we should start a Goku counter from the second I started that story until now, and how many times we've actually said Goku.
And it'll almost be as many times as he's in the game.
Exactly. But are the movesets that different though? If it's the same character, how can they be?
Well, we're gonna have to ask Zurich and our FGC guys. I play more Melee than I do play Dragon Ball. That's why I think I'm okay with it, because I don't actually have to deal with the situation.
Gotcha. But also, like, Dragon Ball FighterZ as a scene has been slumping. Like, we haven't really seen that much news about it. There's not many players still rocking that scene. Like, you're seeing Tekken as the #1, like, on the rise, and Dragon Ball FighterZ kind of slumping a little bit, especially with, like, now Mortal Kombat coming out too. I get that it's a different developer and different style of fighting,
different style game,
but it's still, like, that is the rising star right now, and Dragon Ball FighterZ is kind of slumping.
I think Dragon Ball had a peak because it was brand new, but I think it's still going to be around for a long time. And again, I guess to summarize, I don't have an issue with more Gokus. More Goku. Anyways, lastly, despite falling behind in the Battle Royale rankings, PUBG had a very good year. PUBG Corporation revealed that it earned $970 million US in 2018. Half of that revenue came from Asia, where the game is still very popular, but it has recently returned to prominence in America and Europe as well. Now, we both know, of course, Fortnite is making way more money, which is why they shouldn't be crunching their employees. But you know, do you think PUBG is going to be climbing back on top here? I mean, we see even streamers like Shroud stepping back into PUBG.
Yo, PUBG's tight. PUBG's awesome. PUBG,
I love PUBG.
Crushes. Not crunches, but crushes.
Well, who knows? Maybe they do.
No, I feel like they're amazing. They just had an amazing weekend too of tournament play with Face It.
Yeah.
So many people tuned into that. They have a great list of talent. They have great players. Lazarus, the org just signed a team that had been playing with Org for a while too. They're bringing in fresh new players as well. There's always like something happening in the scene. It's exciting to see because we were concerned with Fortnite and then very concerned when Apex came out that this maybe wouldn't have the same platform to shine, but I feel like it is, and a lot of other investors outside of North America, obviously Asia, we have the OGN network that came and opened up a studio in California as well, where they're streaming PUBG too, where they had like weekly tournaments. No, they're doing really well, and I'm super proud of them.
I wasn't worried about Apex. Apex was the COD killer. Apex was the blackout killer.
Yeah.
It's a completely, entirely different game than PUBG. But as you heard too, it's like the Asian region, especially with phones, because PUBG Mobile.
Oh,
and
crushes,
so, you know, if a lot of their money's coming in from skins and stuff in the mobile. You know, they didn't really say which division it's coming from, but like.
Doesn't matter. They make it the money. See,
they can put it back into the North American
scene. It probably is a lot of mobile though. It probably is a lot of mobile because like you guys don't put any respect on mobile, I gotta say. And mobile is what makes them dollars. It makes the green that mobile.
Just because something's popular doesn't mean it's good. We can still trash on mobile just because it's making a lot of money.
Yeah, but the trash continues, and yet mobile continues to shine. It continues to make all the dough.
You know what I've always said? At the end of it, as long as I almost said, I wasn't there. If they put it back into the things that I am going to care about, like North American or European tournaments, or into the PC game, then I'm fine with it. It's kind of like I'm okay with Pixar making bad movies like Cars, as long as they're going to keep making good ones like Toy Story.
So you're saying you're a selfish broadcaster?
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Okay, shut up. Now it's time to move on to see what streamers are up to in Clip It. Our first clip comes from speedrunner Spike Vegeta, who was doing a run in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past when he accidentally pressed the wrong button.
Oh, can you not do it from here? Don't do that. So I just want everyone to know, B says yes. And starting over.
Oh my, okay, I love how positive he was after that. Have you ever accidentally done that, deleted a save file? And what would you do? You just start over? Oh my God, I would rage quit.
I am about to call out my brother.
Uh-oh.
Right now. I'm bringing up some childhood anger. Oh my God. I had a Mew in Pokemon Blue, and I traded it over to my Pokemon Gold, and he got into my Pokemon Gold before I could trade it back, and started a new friggin' save file, and I lost my Mew. And now every time I go to my Blue Pokemon Pokedex, it shows Mew, and it shows it as caught, but it ain't there.
Oh no.
And it reminds me every time. Well, until my Pokemon Blue got stolen, so now I don't have to look at it again. So
Okay.
I guess
So
it's all good in the end.
there was no happy ending to that.
It's some twisted way, really.
That's so messed up.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that at all. Honestly, if I lose progress in something, I will rage quit and I will never return. Like, I will just never return. I can't. I'm such a sore loser.
I needed to stop thinking about Hangry, so I'm just going to
fine.
move on. Our next clip is in celebration of Mortal Kombat 11's launch. It comes from Trey and Jay, who played the game story for almost 14 hours straight, but was hesitant to finish the game.
God, 14 hours. I need breakfast. I need
We're not even asking y'all for much. It's just a hot 20.
No, I said hot 20. I said hot 20.
I haven't? Okay, good.
A hot 20. Because this is 14 hours, y'all. We just now got some get the subs. Man, this is entertainment for y'all last. Last part, bro, I need a hot 20 for the last part, man. Y'all
all y'all rich people in here. Can't nobody drop a hot 20?
A little bit of malpractice going on in the streaming there.
I don't like
You're
that.
not guaranteed money by streaming.
No. I really don't like that. That really
Tell
pisses me
them.
off.
Let it go. I want to hear it.
That full on pisses me off. That is not cool at all, man. Like, first of all, maybe somebody already donated and they're sitting in the stream watching like, you know what, F you, I already gave you money, finish the friggin' game. I don't think so. That's not right in any way. Like, reward the people that watch you and have been watching you from time. Now, begging them basically for more money? Oh, no, I don't think so. That's literally when I would unfollow. I would unsubscribe from all of that. That's not okay. Do not pander for dough. I get that you're doing this for money. I understand that. But you got your dough, you got your followers, you're playing. Finish the freaking game. That's what people are watching you for. Oh my God, that is so irritating.
That's why I let you do it. Because I had the same agreement, but I'm like, she's going to deliver this way better.
So annoying. Oh God. Let's take a ride now on the Twitter train because it's time for Profound Thoughts, where we take the things that pros are taking and spitting out their mouths and onto our timelines. The first post comes from Hugs because we haven't had one from him in a minute, but this is important. He says, the whole idea of trusting the locals for food recommendations is flawed, seeing as how there are plenty of locals in LA who still line up at the Cheesecake Factory. Okay, but like straight up, the Cheesecake Factory did open up in Toronto, and like homies be lining up for like 3 hours still though. And it's been like a good 6 months.
I ain't never been. I don't know what it is.
It's just a restaurant. It has like lots of different options, but like almost
cheesecake?
too many options, and also cheesecake. Yeah, it's just like a staple in the States.
You know what? I think the real thing comes down to you can trust locals anywhere in the world to give you good recommendations for food. Do not trust people in LA for recommendations. They also think In-N-Out is a good burger.
Oh.
And it's trashed here.
I don't know. It's not a bad burger.
It is
okay.
a bad burger. The only reason I like it is because it's cheap. I'm calling you out, everyone in LA. You have
Okay,
bad
maybe
taste in food.
maybe people are just cheap.
Hugs
Okay,
agrees,
so
clearly.
what's worth lining up for in your mind?
What's worth lining up for in my mind?
Yeah.
Mountain Dew Doritos. No.
Brody, you're lining up
Five
for the next
Guys.
7-Eleven. Five Guys. Yeah, Five Guys is good, but again, these are chains. His point is that if you're gonna go somewhere, you're gonna want to go somewhere special, like somewhere where locals actually revere and they enjoy it, not the freaking Cheesecake Factory, which is just like another chain restaurant. Like, you know, these chain restaurants, like they're good and everything, and I get why they're successful, but like, it's good to get where the locals go, but I guess in LA the locals don't know anything.
If you come on down to Kitchener, I can show you.
Oh God.
She's not coming down to Kitchener.
You actually have made a lot of recommendations for Kitchener, but like I'm going to Kitchener.
All right, one day, maybe not, probably not. Next up, we all know about the dumpster fire that was Red Reserve a couple of weeks ago, leaving their Call of Duty players without pay and fending for themselves out there in the world. United's latest pickup reflects me when people ask me every month if I receive my salary from Red Reserve.
Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. Not this time. Wrong. Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened.
There is a bright side though, as he continues, owed 2K from Red, but at least me proving myself on Red Reserve for 6 months, landing me a great job on United GG.
Yeah.
There's always,
I mean, that's
always
true.
a silver
First of
lining,
all,
right?
that meme is hot fire right now. Riker just giving it the old, no, that was false.
Yeah,
Not
no,
true.
I love it. You and Zerk have been grinding in on the T-sipping.
Oh, the T-sipping and COD. Yeah, honestly, we've already discussed this in Esports in 30, Zerk and I. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out the VOD on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, there's just been a lot of drama with Red Reserve in general. They basically like left their team. Well, you just kind of explained it, fending for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, you have to look on the bright side of things. Yeah, it sucks that he's owed that much money because like 2K, he put the European sign in there. So
The Euro?
2K Euro.
That's a lot of money.
Is a lot Canadian. That's
Canadian.
like 5K Canadian, yo.
That's a lot of
like
dollar
straight up.
bills here.
That's a lot of cash. So that sucks for sure, but being now brought into an org like United is incredible for this kid. So hopefully he can take that and run with it. Maybe he'll get paid one day. Who freaking knows? Our last profound thought is from Brody's other work wife, Snack Lawler, with this hot fire take. He says, in case you forgot, Fireburner is the man. Thanks for taking the time to chat.
Well, it just ends it. Yeah, that's my opinion. Actually, it's fact. You don't have, you guys can't reply.
I know. Well,
Thanks for taking the time to chat.
Do you agree with your wife?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, Fireburner is the man. I love Fireburner. I love, Fireburner is a great dude.
Yeah.
I think he slipped off a bit. You know, he's definitely not one of the top guys. And I think that's what Lawler's getting at, is that I think we don't give him enough credit.
Oh, I see.
I think he's actually going into this weekend to convince us. I think he's putting together a bit right now to convince us. So I'm gonna have to try to get convinced. But I still think he's overshadowed by his teammates.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do think he's overshadowed for a bit of a reason. I mean, he slumped off a little bit, but I do love Fireburner. I must say.
Fair enough. You kept it very PG
very PG.
there.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to crowd control. This is where we show the best memes and stuff floating all around the internet. I gotta get in as much RL as possible while I'm here. Every Monday, the esports subreddit has a meme Monday, and I gotta say, Kicker RL killed it. For context, Dignitas went from winning 2 world titles to sitting 1 and 3 in the current league play. Oh yeah, baby, tell me what you want. Talk to me like you're an effing idiot. Dignitas is still good. That's perfect. Yo, people still on effing chat for Dig right now, real quick though. Yo, Dig is hurting. It's so weird. We talk about Astralis, but it's so weird to see a team go from being on the top to all of a sudden the next season.
Okay, but it could it just be the fact that they have brought in someone new? Like, you know, I mean, I don't know. It just kind of feels bad for Yukio.
It feels bad for Yukio, but it also feels bad for the crossbar that he keeps beating up on.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Calm out.
We're the siren. We need a siren. We need a little horn here. If you thought we were done with the crab smash memes, you thought wrong. Nairo found the perfect level in Smash.
Oh my God.
I love it. Your reaction was the exact same as his.
Yo, crabs for days though. I mean, I don't feel bad for Hungrybox because I feel like this is good for him.
This is fantastic.
It's amazing for him.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic for Hungrybox right now. Like, he is getting so much PR out of this, like good PR too, because everyone agrees he was in the right to be angry, and then he even apologized, which he didn't absolutely have to. But it's just like a crab. I can't get over it.
You know what? Now it would almost be an honor to have somebody throw a crab. That would be an honor, I think.
Is this a new esports thing? Like,
yeah.
Okay, next time any one of us are up on stage,
you can crab us.
If you can get a crab into the venue, it's crab us.
Yeah, but I don't want. It needs to be dead, first of all. Like
I don't
full on
really
dead.
know
Not dead for a long time. I don't want it to smell.
Comfortable I am telling people to give me crabs.
Okay, well, I didn't phrase it that way. But.
All right, it's time for our last post. This one comes from Reddit user FearMyBeard21, who titled it, "Thanks to VR, we can now experience leg IRL." The best part you're gonna see.
Okay.
Hit markers. Blah, 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 blah. 360, no high five. That's. I don't know if that was lag in the game or if it was just the dude, leg his brain leg, and like, oh yeah, there's a high five.
No, he tried. Like, he went for it. There's no way that wasn't lag. That was full on. This is what I mean about VR, Brody. Like, you love VR so much. You love it so much. But
look at the experiences that can give us.
And the great, is that a good experience?
That was MLG play right there.
What was it?
Yeah, 360 no high five headshot.
So we can tune into your stream soon and watch you do the same thing?
No, because I don't have friends.
Or followers.
Oh my God.
That's it for Unmuted. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Remember, you can always hit us up on our socials. Someone type in ! in the socials right now. We'll see you next time.
Oh, I hope I get my beautiful. What's going on?
Oh my god.
How did that kill you?
This one's worse, yeah.
Oh my God. Why? Oh my God.
Oh my God, I can't believe TrueFace did that. But you know what? I'm not really that surprised. Remember that you can always let us know what you want us to play in the green room via socials. Now, just in a bit, Spag will be calling in to talk with Brody and TrueFace about the mix-up. But before that, we have to talk about the news. Cloud9 is doubling down on Apex Legends with the signing of a brand new team. The new roster consists of 9XT, Isno, and Noted. The players have played professional PUBG, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six Siege in the past. so they do have some experience with competitive play. However, C9's new squad isn't just the second team playing Apex Legends under its banner, it's also the first Brazilian roster that the org has ever signed. While Apex Legends esports is still in its infancy, the more teams from around the world that jump into it, the better. Now, if only there was an official Apex League that these teams could compete in. Evil Geniuses has not had the best start in the Call of Duty World League, to put it lightly. And as a result, the NA team has significantly revamped its roster with the addition of some heavy hitters. EG has added former world champion JNaps and former FaZe Black player Phantoms to its roster. The two will compete alongside Attach, Exotic, and Apathy, the latter of whom only joined EG last week. Exotic is the only remaining member from the EG roster that qualified for the CWL in January. Now, EG is sitting in last place in Division A with a 2-9 record. While the new roster doesn't have a lot of experience playing together, let's be real, anything would be an improvement over the squad that earned as bad of a record as EG has. We'll see the new roster for the first time at CWL London, which begins on May 3rd. We're over a month away from the start of E3, but many companies took to Twitter this week to announce their plans for what is still one of the most important events in the video game industry. There's a lot to get through, so let's dive right into the conferences announced so far. EA will kick off E3 4 days before it actually begins, with some live streams on June 7th. Microsoft and Bethesda will both hold their conferences on Sunday, June 9th, as they usually do. But this year, they'll be joined by a newcomer. Upload VR will hold a conference for the first time ever to showcase new VR games. On June 10th, we'll get to watch a trio of press conferences back to back to back. The PC gaming show will be held in the morning, followed by Ubisoft in the afternoon and Square Enix in the evening. Lastly, Nintendo will hold Nintendo Directs for 3 days beginning on June 11th, the day E3 actually begins. So buckle up, because E3 will demand your constant attention for an entire week straight.
To activate.
Oh, and he had the read.
Not going to get that edge guard situation, but Mango's doing such a good job of wall smashes and neutral.
That's it! And Mango takes it! 3-2 over H5.
Oh my gosh.
One more hit will do it.
6 seconds.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's going to happen. 4-4-3. 2 is going to be a timeout.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Oh, there it is. Super Akuma takes the Mixup 2019. The first Master event of the season.
Welcome everyone to Esports in 30. I'm Brody Moore and this is Drew Face, and we got a ton of FGC goodness to break down today. Drew, what's on the docket, buddy?
Bam! We got some stuff from the Mixup.
Yep.
We got some stuff from the Pound.
Yeah.
Some melee action, some
melee.
Tekken action. We saw a French dude win Tekken for some reason. First master event of the year. Yo, shouts to my baguettes out there. It was crazy.
That was amazing. Well, of course, first up on the agenda is the Epic Tekken 7 tournament, as you said, that we had at Mixup. We've got a friend joining us in just a few minutes, but before we get to chatting, let's check out the highlights.
Plus range. Red dress is on here. Chikurin. It's going to be max mode activated. Oh, plus range. Assassin 3. Oh! That's going to be it. Goes with the range. It's going to hit. And that thing's going to take the first round here. I can't believe it. He is winning the set for the first time.
Yes, take the lead.
I can't believe it. Good break on the throw. Instant. This could be it. That might be it. Is it knee and losers bracket?
Stop! There it
I
is.
can't believe it. He has taken knee out.
Last chance.
Oh! John Thing's still alive here. What's he gonna do? And this is it, guess the game. No, mix up! Oh! Throw out of range, goes for the race drive. It's blocked. Oh! Oh my God! Oh! No, he steals it.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, here we go. Why did you say that, Mark?
I want to see parties, man.
Oh my God, look at the health.
And the demon, let's go.
I can't believe what we're seeing. And look at the life bar. Oh my goodness.
He probably has a sliver, right? He might have a sliver.
What?
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Let's go!
Oh, the comeback!
Oh, he has an opportunity, capitalizes.
Oh, double KO in the first round. Oh my goodness! The up 4-4.
Oh my God!
Death business.
No punish.
He could have got a big punish. Great throw, great.
Down 2 again.
Very careful.
There it is. The while standing 4, and Brock's Dragon's Knee has been eliminated from the Mixup 2019. Oh my god.
No, he needs to be very careful.
Oh my god.
He needs to be very careful. 4-4-2 from Jin. Probably will catch him if he throws a bad fireball.
Oh my god. Oh, Super Akuma head in hands right now.
But Super Akuma working on a perfect hair.
Oh.
Being so relentless.
Oh, a mini pop-off there. The crowd is loving it. 7 golden letters.
Goes to sweep big.
Oh my god.
Still has, oh, he's going to run him down in the clock.
Oh, the knee, 2 seconds left.
1.
Oh, the clutch from CBM at the end there.
The super for Super Akuma is glowing. And here we go, clean hit.
Uh-oh.
Gets the wall splat. Oh my gosh, he's going to bring it back into the stage.
Oh, oh my god, the swag. Oh my days.
No, no, no.
Oh my god.
Super Akuma.
Super. The highlight reel, the low high fighting back.
No, gets the toe jab.
Oh, if
toe
he loses
jab,
now.
toe kick.
No duck.
Jump back.
Oh my god, Super Akuma.
Here we go. Gets the party started.
Hey.
Okay, also go for the tattoo. What's the
Oh, he catches him ducking.
Here we go. One mix-up away. One mix-up away.
Plus frames.
And here we go.
That's going to be it.
Got it.
Super Akuma eliminates UYU's low high and secures himself a spot in grand finals.
There we go. Just dashing in his face.
Oh, this might be it. This might be it. And it is reset point.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. The party has been started and he has the bar.
Oh my god. Is he going to finish it here?
Oh my gosh.
One more hit will do
left,
it.
6 seconds.
Oh my god.
I don't know what's going to happen. 4, 4, 3, 2. Is it going to be a timeout?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Oh, there it is. Super Akuma takes the Mixup 2019. The first master event of the season.
Now, we've seen Akuma rack up wins in Street Fighter, but the character just got a massive dub in Tekken thanks to Super Akuma. To help us break down the first stop of the Tekken World Tour, we've got Tekken commentator Spag joining. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Oh, man, what's cooking, baby? We got to talk about that. Damn, Super Akuma, though.
Yeah, man, the home favorite came up huge at the mix-up, taking down Cherryberry Mango. I'm just going to call him CBM because it's a crazy name. In the grand finals, what did you see from this guy that allowed him to pick up the dub?
Well, Super Akuma has always been one of the top guys in Europe, you know, 2 times Tekken World Tour finalist, and just general all-around really, really strong player. Last year, he had a great season as well. So, you know, but the thing is, no one kind of expected him to win this one. You know, you have the first master event, the first event for the Tekken World Tour 2019. You've got people like me, Chanel, you've got Koreans, Japanese, you've got people from South America as well. I mean, no one really would have expected a European to take the whole thing with all those big names there. So you know what I think about it? I think, you know, home turf, passion was there, the French people allowed, and, you know, he believed in himself, and there, she managed to win it.
Yeah, now the thing is, I just want to know about the character Akuma, because, you know...
I haven't seen a lot of Akuma, man, like this season, last season, and I can't believe he's actually got a big W this time. Like, why hasn't Akuma really been getting the spotlight here, at least in North America, as much as other characters?
Well, Akuma is very different to your conventional Tekken character. Of course, he has meter, he has a very 2D based gameplay, you know. Namco has done a good job in translating him into Tekken, but he still is very unique and he requires very good execution. I think that's one of the things which kind of prevents people from playing him, is that the combos that you see Super Akuma do and other Akuma players, they're not easy to do. Very, very hard combos to do, and execution has to be on point, especially in the stress of tournament. So Super Akuma has definitely been able to keep his execution high. That's why he's been doing so well.
Do you think, like, if someone's really versed in Street Fighter, they'd be able to transition over nicely, or do you think that, you know, not being 2D element would still be a little much?
Well, I mean, Super Akuma doesn't play Street Fighter, and he's managed to do it. But you know, we actually saw when Akuma was released onto Tekken 7 before it came out on console. Punko, who's one of the best Street Fighter players in the world, actually started playing Tekken, and he was doing really well in tournament. I think he even won a couple tournaments too with Akuma. So yeah, it kind of proves that, you know, if you're a Street Fighter player, Akuma is a character that you can use successfully.
That's cool. That's nice to have that kind of like transition and make people ease into it as well. Yeah. Now we do have to mention though that Super Akuma initially got dropped down to losers by CBM, but in the grand finals, obviously that result got flipped. What did you see in his in his playstyle that changed up that allowed him to get the win in grands?
Well, Akuma is a very mix-up based character. You know, in your face, he'll do like either a low or mix it up with a mid. It's as simple as that, right? Super Akuma is the type of player as well who sees, okay, if you know how to play versus Akuma, it doesn't matter. He'll know how to mix it up. He'll know how to change his gameplay to adapt to what you're doing. That's the great thing about Akuma that people underestimate. He's so good at changing up his gameplay, right? And that's exactly what he did, and I believed that he would be able to do it. I didn't know if he would get the win, but I knew at least that he would adapt his gameplay, and he would know exactly what CBM did to beat him the first time and make the adaptation, and that's what he did. And I just didn't expect it to be so easy for him. You know, 5 matches in a row. I mean,
he got flustered near the end. Like, that was insane. Like, he got really flustered with all those punishes, and CBM just couldn't do anything about it. What do you think CBM could have done to improve against
so talking to the Koreans after the event, literally just after, they said they haven't got a lot of high-level Akuma players in Korea, so their practice versus the character is not so good. Even if you know what to do by theory, if you haven't set your reactions to punish and to actually do what the theory tells you to do, you won't be able to do it. So, you know, that's one thing. They haven't got a lot of Akuma practice, and we in Europe do have a lot of practice. And so a lot of the European players, like Asim was telling me, man, CBM did not do the right thing. He didn't float him out of Demon Flip when he could have. He didn't, you know, sidestep left and block, which is what even Super Akuma says is the thing to do versus Akuma. You know, Super Akuma is very, very strong, but people in France beat him. People in France are able to beat him because they have him as the practice, right? So I guess maybe there was an element of unfamiliarity by CBM and the other players, but you can't take away from Super Akuma. The dude played like a beast.
And now, even with my limited knowledge of the scene, I do, of course, know about Knee. This is a guy that everyone's considered like the best Tekken player of all time.
He's a GOAT.
Yeah, 2018 was great for him. But Mixup, he only finished 5th. Is this like worrisome? Like, is this other people catching up? Was it him just having a dip? Or like, what's going on? Why 5th, not 1st?
Yeah, imagine how good of a player you have to be to get 5th, and people say, "Man, he's dropping off. What's going on?" You know, this guy, of course, he won so many events last year. I think he won 5 master events, and he didn't even travel to some of them.
Yeah,
so the guy is definitely he's a beast, right? So you expect him to win, but actually, if you look at the mix-up, the bracket was very stacked. There were. And sometimes tournaments can come down to who plays who in the pools, right? So I remember quite off the bat in the winners finals of the pool, Chikurin had to play against Knee, and Chikurin is considered the best player in Japan at the moment. So that was a very close match. I think if Knee would have won that match and stayed in winners, he probably would have breezed through the bracket, but him going into loser bracket is what probably prevented him from winning the tournament. Chikurin is very, very strong geese player from Japan. He's the one that put him in the loser bracket. He got his run back in the top 8. Knee did beat Chikurin at the end, but you know, getting into the loser bracket early like that is a very long road back to winning that tournament.
So do you think, because he lost to Naroma in the lower, do you think if he had met him in the upper bracket, it would have been a different story, and it was just simply being down there that maybe kind of killed some of his momentum?
Well, just the fact that you're down in that loser bracket, you know, you only have one more chance. You know, it's a bit extra stress. It's more like, oh man, if I drop a match, I'm literally one match away from going home. So it's more stress, and I guess Knee is not really used to going down to the loser bracket so early. But I think if he was in the winners, he would have done probably a little bit better. But watching Knee, you know, he's trying to experiment a bit more. He was using more characters like Paul. He doesn't really use Paul that much, and he's trying different characters. So I expect him to still do really well. He's had a good result. 5th is not bad, but I expect to see some dubs coming from him soon.
Well, I mean, Rangchu was the champion of the Tekken World Tour last year, but at Mixup, he lost to Naroma and Lowhigh, placing 9th. Well, what does Rangchu have to do to get over this little slump of his? Because like he was doing great last year near the end, but he should be coming into that really well.
Yeah, you would think that, because of course he is Tekken World Tour champion. But you know, when you look at the caliber of competition there was at this event, you can't really blame him for not doing as well as he did. Because even Rangchu, you know, last year Tekken World Tour, the great thing about him is that he didn't really win any master events, but he won the World Tour. That was the whole story behind Rangchu. He didn't win anything during the World Tour, but then he won the big one when it mattered. So, you know, he's doing fine, I think. You know, I expect him to do pretty well as well. But if you think about it, there were people like Lowhigh, CBM, and Ulsan, you know, who are very, very strong players. And these guys know how to play versus Rangchu. They say, you know, especially Ulsan, 19 years old, you know, a very, very strong player, won Damage Germany the week before. And he destroyed Rank Chu, said that I know exactly how to play against him. So there are people who are kind of doing their research. When you're Tekken World Tour champion, the target's on your head. People are going to be trying to beat you. So, you know, he's definitely got to do some more work to keep on the top.
Yeah, I think maybe we're being like hard. I mean, like 9th, 5th, those aren't really bad spots.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
you're still like, especially in a stack tournament. What like, so during a stack tournament, what's like the lowest you would want to see like a Rank Chu or a knee? Like, what's the point that you start get worried about those guys? Like, oh, maybe they're losing their edge.
If they don't make top 16, then it's a bit worrying, right?
Yeah,
they made top 16. It's a good result. Obviously, Tekken World Tour this year, it's a bit of a different format where, or rule change rather, where like only your top 3 performances are going to count in master events. So even with 1 or 2 bad results, it doesn't really matter because only your top 3 performances count. If you get 3 wins or 3 top 3s, only those results count. So it's not a bad result for Rank Chu or any of these other guys. They're allowed to be a little bit lazy on a couple of tournaments now. It's not about accumulating points anymore as it was before. But Rank Chu and all the Koreans actually, you expect them to do really well if they're able to travel. So I'm not worried about them at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, in this Tekken World Tour, we saw CBM do really well, and he generally gets lost in the whole Korean mix. Who are some of the guys like CBM, or do you think it's going to break out this year, 2019?
Who do we keep our eyes on?
I mean, it all depends on who travels, man. Like, there's so many Koreans that are able to place. Like, CBM is a perfect example. This dude hasn't got a sponsor. He came here on his own money. You know, Low-High supported him a little bit, and his viewers from his stream. And, you know, the guy deserves a sponsor. He's shown it. Top 3 Japan, top 4 down in Germany, and then 2nd place at Mixup. He's a very strong player. And there are many people like him in Korea. There's More Gold, Breadman. There's so many strong players in Korea that if they get the chance to travel, they will do very well. Ulsan is another example who has broken out onto the scene. So keep your eye out on Ulsan, keep your eye out on CBM, and maybe More Gold and Breadman if they get to travel as well. Those are some names that you may not be familiar with that will do very well if they get the chance to go to tournaments.
Okay, now it's probably way too early for this, but we're going to make you do it anyways. Can you give us maybe just like your top 3 that you think are going to win it all, or even just if you already have someone in mind, who you think's going to, by the end of all of this, take the whole tour?
I actually said on commentary that I was going to make my prediction now because I want to be able to go back and say, hey, I was right months ago, right?
Yeah.
I think Chanel is going to win the whole thing.
All right.
I think it's going to be the same as every World Tour where there's been one dominant player, could be Nee, could be someone else, but I think Chanel is due a big win, and the guy is still performing very consistently. I think with his Julia now, if he's able to refine the Julia, that is going to be the guy to swoop in and win everything.
All right, clip it and hold it against Spag when it doesn't come true, or when it does.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Trust me.
All right, man. I'll hold you to that one.
I believe it now then. Anyways, Spag, unfortunately, we're out of time, but I just want to thank you so much for joining us and enjoy the Tekken World Tour, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Now we've of course got to shift over to some Smash. Ultimate and Melee both had some epic runs from players that hadn't lifted the trophy in some time, so let's check out the highlights from Pound 2019.
Right. He'll just blow it up, and sometimes people die super early because they're like so high up trying to get that up air that, you know, or that nuclear or whatever they're trying to get from the top that they just end up putting. You won't.
He really,
He
hit him with the box.
119.
Wait a
Potentially
minute.
blessed, or is he cursed?
Wait a minute.
What the?
What? How did you grab?
What?
How did he grab it
Oh,
from
he's
there?
smirking. He knows what he did. He got away with that. That was highway robbery.
Air dodge goes into him. Gonna take 54. He's air dodging again. MVD is reeling on the ropes.
I mean, that was an instant up air from the kick.
Oh, you're gone. Jesus. And he's out of this tournament. Spike all the way down.
Not gonna be enough. Yeah. Still some good damage. Also great.
Oh my God, sir!
That's the Mars stop.
Alamar, you can land on many planets. Mars is not one.
TK knows?
Pretty good round.
I don't know TK would know.
Well, I mean,
I hear myself
everybody
say
watched back in the day.
3 minutes. That's my favorite. 164.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He was really riding the wave, he was riding the momentum, but I feel like he might want to back up a little bit now because the Buzz has recomposed. Or he's just going to get the up tilt, he's going to take the game, and he's going to defeat the Buzz.
I think we're getting one more set. I mean, the Ally already at 84%, finally finds a way down to the ground Stairmaster.
21.
Okay, nice.
21.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh no!
3-year drought from Pound, all made up in a glancing blow.
because those recoveries from Mango were so good, and yet HBox still finishes that edge guard.
Yep. He definitely made him work for it.
Oh my God! 49%! 49%! Yoshi Story Mango.
Oh man, let's see. Okay, going for the dare.
Oh,
okay,
man,
up smash, up throw, up air percent.
Okay, this is when Clutchbox begins to activate.
Oh, and he had the read.
Not going to get that edge guard situation, but Mango's doing such a good job with these up smashes and neutral.
And that's it! And Mango takes it! 3-2 for HBox.
So he's just being really careful.
Oh
my God! Oh, wow, what a read!
Okay.
And yeah.
Wait.
Oh man, almost
There it
made
is.
it right
Great
there.
stuff from HBox. He just doesn't have a flow chart. He literally is such an instinctual player. He feels out the game sometimes.
And he's going right into.
Oh
my God! Mango, what is going on right now?
Commits to that read instead of trying to go for the reaction.
Oh my God! Mango's on fire!
Mango chance coming out. The crowd wants to see it.
Of course.
Oh, what a grab from HBox.
But great DI.
Oh, and
yeah, there it is.
That's
the
a wrap.
reset.
Big Phantom right there.
Yeah, that was real big.
Oh,
look like Mango read that.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll take that. And up air just comes down aggressively.
Off stage.
Oh, wait, and there it is. And Hungrybox.
HBox is your Pound 2019 Smash Bros. Melee champion.
All right, lots of gameplay to talk about. Let's get the negative out of the way. After his win over Mango, Hungrybox had a crab thrown at him by a spectator in the audience. First off, why you're throwing things. Secondly, a crab. Drew, what the hey is going on with the Melee community right now?
Man, you could say that was very selfish of them for hating on Hungrybox there.
Can I leave?
But
Am I
it was
allowed
a
to leave
really,
the set right now?
you know what? That situation went really crabby. I don't know why I don't know why they doing this. Why they doing this? Why they throwing crabs everywhere, man? Why they doing that?
So to be real though, at the end of the day, it's kind of cool because now Melee's getting exposure, I suppose. But like,
look, if they want exposure as the Florida of the FGC, yeah, that's some stuff.
Florida
I guess.
man throws crab at Hungrybox. No, but real, like, is this like, are we seeing just a complete mental decline of the Melee scene? Like, are they?
You know what? I feel like they just want to, like, they're not happy with the state of their scene, and they just want to find a scapegoat. And that scapegoat happens to be Hungrybox, baby.
I hate it because I'm a Puff main too, and I'm like, yo, leave us alone. Like, do you think, because he yelled at the audience afterwards. He like popped off on the audience.
I would do it too.
Do you think, so he was in the right to do this?
Back. Yeah. I don't care, baby. That crustacean's going back to where it came from, the sea.
That's amazing. So, okay, so you think he's justified. All right. Well, then why don't we just talk about gameplay? Because clearly we know that he was justified. So, obviously, lost behind the shadow of a crab being thrown was the amazing gameplay of Mango, who, of course, did eventually lose to Hungrybox in the end. But he is looking amazing. And I'm wondering what changed? Why is he back on track here?
You know, he has a history of doing amazing at Pound. He usually wins Pound. And when Pound came back after like a 4-year hiatus, I believe, or 2-year hiatus, he had an amazing run. He had some of the fastest stocks I've ever seen in so long. And he's an incredible player. I can't believe he's back. He was the reason why Melee was so exciting this weekend.
Yeah.
Because like I just want to see how much further Mango could go, and unfortunately he had to run into that dirty Puff main, yo.
Well, so I'm wondering, do you think this was like, maybe that Puff main being a little off his edge right now, or do you think it really was just Mango stepping up, or was it kind of a meet in the middle situation?
I think it was sort of a meet in the middle. Like for example, Mango peaked really early, and that's why he was able to get to the winner's side. But unfortunately, when you're the #1 player in the world, aka Hungrybox, you're super stable, you're super consistent, especially when he's so good at turtling like that.
This is nuts because it wasn't even just HBox that he beat for the first time in like a year. He also beat Plup for the first time in a year too.
He hasn't beat Plup like in the last 3 tournaments actually.
Yeah, it's
like
been
Plup's
a while.
always had his number. So he's done a lot of crazy stuff.
Do you think it was him? Because he was playing Fox this time, right? Like he's been playing a lot of Falco. Do you think it's that change back to Fox? Like 20XX baby?
I think it's just a blip, like a random blip. Unfortunately.
Okay, so you think this is
because
like
Mango's a streamer now.
That's just
he's just focusing on streaming. He's not really focused on being competitive. So sad. Like I wish he was focusing on being a competitive player because he's my favorite player in Smash.
Okay. So. Yeah, he's amazing to watch, but that's unfortunate. I don't think he's gonna keep popping off.
I think his streaming career is way more rewarding, especially now that Evil's Evil's not having melee.
Yeah,
so it's like
that's
not really
true.
focused on melee anymore.
Rip.
So
Anyways,
Evil-
we gotta talk about some Smash Ultimate as well. We gotta talk, man. Ally.
Ooh, my man, Ally,
Sort of local boy, but it's been a while. He made his return. He had a great showing, of course, at Prime Saga in just 1 pound. How has Ally been able to pull himself back up? I mean, like there are so many good Ultimate players now.
I don't think Ally's ever had a really bad showing in Ultimate, really. He's just not winning as much as he used to.
Yeah.
But like in Smash 4, he generally peaked near the middle or the end of the game's life cycle anyway. So this is fairly early for Ally to actually win a major like
so this is
Yeah.
good. A good sign. You're not.
That's
You're
a really
worried
good
at
sign.
all.
I think you're just gonna see Ultimate has so many good competitors that you're gonna see a high mix of players. So that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see like a bunch of names win tournaments, and we're seeing that right now.
Yeah. So I'm wondering then if it's starting to come down to like the characters you're using, because obviously Snake is like I actually don't understand Snake players and how their minds work, because like that setups are nuts.
Look,
You're like, no, I don't.
Ultimate was really dull this weekend for me to watch as a spectator because there was so much Olimars, there's so much Pikmins, and so much Snakes. And then,
When you gotta love that, like he took out 2 Pikmins.
Yeah, he took out 2
Or
Pikmins.
Olimar,
But
sorry, yeah.
he took 2 out Captain Olimars, but like I'm watching Snake versus Olimar like for 4 hours straight. That's not fun. That's not fun for anybody. That's boring.
It's also like a Snake is more.
Grand Finals was another double reset of Snake versus Olimar. I'm sitting there like bored out of my mind watching 2 guys literally play hopscotch with each other. That was what I was watching. Hopscotching in a Smash game.
I don't know how to handle you sometimes.
That's ridiculous.
So do you think is this the way
This
it's
is a
gonna
terrible
go?
metal. We gotta get that shit patched.
So it needs patch. You think it's going downhill then?
Oh yeah,
You
no.
calling out Ultimate right now?
I just think right now people are figuring out the meta more.
Yeah.
And like maybe this is the flavor of the month.
Okay.
That's all it is. Next month we're probably gonna see like I don't know Joker dominate the meta or something.
Okay, so
something crazy.
now looking at some other, because like Snakes can be crazy. Looking at other Snakes like Salem MVD, do you think Ally is now considered up there as like one of the best Snakes, or has he got a way to get his name?
In Brawl he was the best Snake. So I just think he's just kind of claiming his throne. So I do agree that I don't think he ever left, but I think that the others are making their stake for the throne.
Okay, yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting Ultimate season.
Yeah, so, well, kind of on that topic then, because outside of the main tournament, there was a money match that was streamed between Samsora and Esam.
Yeah!
Now, Samsora won 10 games to 1. Are we seeing...
That's my son!
Is Pikachu trash now?
I think... I don't know. Like,
you don't want to say it.
I don't want to say it right now, but someone's got to step up. That's all I got. Somebody's got to step up, baby. That Pikachu is not that bad of a character. I just think Samsora's a much better player.
Well, yeah. But Esam also finished 25th too, right? Like first he had that 10-1, and now he's finishing 25th. That's not what we expected of Esam.
Look, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what his nutrition is, but man, he's got to start
He needs
going
a new
back
diet.
to the gym. He's got to go back and lift some more in that Smash weights, baby.
Yeah,
It's a bad look.
Yeah. All right. Well, clearly we know your thoughts on the meta right now for Ultimate. So let's talk a bit about Street Fighter tournament that went on. We can't forget about that. Guess what? Punk won.
I said it. I think he's gonna have a dominate. Like him and Tokyo are gonna have a really dominant run. This season.
Well, so I'm curious because again, a lot of people and I hear it are just like, oh, a lot of it's guessing. But you're having these guys that are getting consistently at the
those
top.
Those are buzzwords, man. Those are buzzwords.
So,
like Street Fighter. This past for Street Fighter has been one of the most competitive, the most well-designed fighting games. And unfortunately, like it's not my cup of tea. That's not my cup of tea because it's not my brand of Street Fighter. But that's not. I'm not gonna try to take away from the skillful players here. Like everyone's getting more consistent. Everyone's adapting to this new style of Street Fighter, and we're seeing that right now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, we're seeing a legend adapt too. Daigo.
Ooh, my Lord and Savior, Daigo.
I
want him to win the whole thing.
I know you hype on this man.
I wanted him to win the whole thing, but
why didn't he?
Punk's too good.
Punk's just too good. What was it? Break it down for me. Like, what was it the Daigo couldn't keep up with Punk with?
Actually, it was a back and forth match, and unfortunately, I think Punk just edged him out because Punk's good. I'm not going to take away from him.
Is it just like his play style that Daigo can get past? Is it like
it's more so the decision making at clutch moments when they're really into that deep tense moment where no one knows what's gonna happen. Punk just had the edge.
Is it like the cool and collectedness? Is that what it is? Do you think Daigo over experience would have?
I think it's a bit of because this is Punk's like second Street Fighter game, and this is Daigo's like 15th.
Yeah.
So like Daigo's probably like. He's probably like Mixup. He's like, yo, no Street Fighter, but I just wait him out. It's all good.
Yeah, he's thinking old metas and stuff.
Yeah, old metas and stuff. Whereas like Punk is like, yo, I'm just gonna play the game for what it is.
All right.
And so that's what happened.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I also have to talk about Dogura because he finished top 8 after announcing his return to Street Fighter V. Do you think he's going to be able to maintain like this kind of level of players? This was just like a good comeback and he'll drop off.
Dogura is amazing. Dogura is amazing.
Yeah.
Like this is an amazing fighting game player, and you saw him. He took out Sako. He took out Fudo. He took out Shin. Like that's just a testament to him as a talented player. And whenever he focuses on anything, you see him. He just rocks this. Like he's always in the mix. So it's kind of, I'm not surprised. I think if he's truly committed to being a Street Fighter V pro again, then I think he's going to be the
maintain
best.
it.
Yeah, he will definitely.
That's good to hear. Yeah, that's good. Now. We've talked about a lot of people today, and Drew, you know, at the end of Esports in 30, we always got to say and ask you, who is your player of the week and why?
Oh my God. You know what? It's that French man, that baguette, Super Kuma, baby. That dude beat so many Koreans to win that tournament. I don't even know how he did it. I still don't understand. I just saw him hit a dude and take 70% of the health off. With one hit, it was crazy.
Yo, do you think we're gonna see a lot of now Akumas stepping up?
Oh hell no! Korea's gonna still dominate. This is a blip of the radar. This is a blip of the radar. Yo.
All right, so he gets 1 week of being good, and that's it.
That's it, baby. We're not gonna see you.
Oh my God.
We're not gonna see you.
That's amazing. All right, Drew. Well, you know what it is. We got to get out of here. Maybe play some of that new MK11. Thanks to Spag for joining us to chat Tekken 7. Tomorrow I'll be hanging out here once again to chat about Rocket League. Until then, check us out on all our socials at Squad State, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks, guys, for breaking down everything that went down in the FGC this past week. And of course, shout outs to Red Bull as well for fueling us in the green room. But you know what? We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time in the green room playing more games. And then we're back with another Unmuted. And we're tackling Rocket League in Esports in 30. So you don't want to miss that. Remember, you can always check in on us on our socials at Squad State. We are everywhere and we want to hear from you. So until tomorrow, we'll see ya.